Ever since we ended up seeing the snap and the blip in the MCU, there's been a lot of speculation running rampant in the fandom that this could be used as a point where we see a lot of stories that take place during that 5-year gap to fill in what exactly happened on the planet, or possibly even throughout the entire universe. Well, now Marvel Studios' own Kevin Feige opens up about this a little bit, and it looks like it will play a role in it, but don't expect it to be big. Okay, so just before we get into this, I want to make something very clear to everybody. The blip and the snap to generations of kids will forever be their "no, I am your father" Star Wars moment, and things in the prequels that people that are like 25 have now gone on to say are the greatest cinematic moments of all time. When it comes to things that you're nostalgic for, we know that around age 12, whatever you were hardcore into imprints on you and that becomes your thing. You can't go out there and just insult somebody or hate them because they were 12 years old when they saw The Dark Knight and they think that that's the greatest thing ever. They were 12. That imprints on them, there you go. That's how the Avengers are for many people. I personally know people who Iron Man 1 was one of their first films they saw when they could fully comprehend what a film was, and that is their nostalgic throwback. Now I know somebody that's 30 that's watching this might get really upset that that person did not watch Batman 89 or something. But guess what? Batman 89 to you, because that's the thing that imprinted on you, is laughable to somebody that's 15 years older than you because they had something else. So put that into perspective before you start insulting people who 5 years from now will tell you, oh my god, yeah, I still think about that moment because it formulated what I love about modern day science fiction, and that's what I love about it. Again, it was a big moment. It was in the zeitgeist. People still talk about it. That snap and the blip and how everything happened. So it's really no surprise that you see many people today talk about the fact that they want that time period explored, that 5-year gap, because again, there's a huge amount of fans where this is their thing. They want to know stories. Recently, Variety caught up with Kevin Feige and asked him about that idea, about exploring those 5 years. And he said, we'll touch upon it. It's going to be like the Battle of New York, for example, where characters reference it, they talk about it, it's affected and changed the world, but they don't want to go back to that constantly and show off what happened and set multiple seasons of things there, because you got to move past that. It's about the future, not the past. And again, I want to reiterate, this is something that's very important, right? We saw in Spider-Man Far From Home that started to pick up the pieces of how the world is reassembling itself, but they quickly move past that and get to the next story. You can't just be stuck in the past the entire time. We know that the upcoming Hawkeye series will show us Ronin during that time and what made him go there. But again, you're running into prequel territory, and prequels inherently have that sort of a stink on them, if you will. And I'm not saying it in a bad way, but you sort of know where the story ends up. Like, many people that I know, and probably you as well, you know people that are like this. They're like, oh, Black Widow, but she died already. Again, that's going into that territory where we know how it has to end. So you don't want to spend too much time there, because the entire future slate of Marvel Studios is looking to the future. So focus on that, reference what happened, it was a world-changing event, show a couple things there, mention things that changed during that time, but move past it. And I agree with them 100% because it's about the future, not the past. Just focus on that. And also, speaking of things that are nostalgic to people, and this is what they base their entire lives on and what the best things are, one of my friends, their kids, their favorite movie of all time, the movie that defined them because it was their first theater experience, is Pacific Rim 2. They think that that is the best movie of all time because it was their first theater experience. See what I mean about imprinting on you when you're young? Yeah, that's how it works. So don't get upset at people. Again, don't be that type of person. Just don't. Especially you guys that can't accept that there's many girls today that idolize Rey from Star Wars. That's their character. Let them have it.